Yo, tits up, Shades here. You know you can interact with BACC Talk. You can email us at backtalkus@gmail.com. Hit us up on Facebook. The official page is BACC Talk. Fan group is the Backpack Fan Page. Also tweet at us at BACC Talk. Now enjoy the show.
And now, get ready for some idiots talking about shit. Here is Justin, Tony, Destin, Andy. It's BACC Talk.
Tits up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of BACC Talk. We got two people away this week because they decided it was much better and going to be more fun to give candy to little kids. Like, did your parents ever tell you not to take candy from strangers? I don't understand this. But they want to play the grown person giving candy to children. So that's what they're doing. But I'm here with Dustin. Dustin, what's going on, buddy? Hey, let's kick this off the right way, the two of us. Tits up, buddy.
Tits up.
Dustin, what's going on, man? There's a lot, we talked about it last week, like privately between the four of us, not having an episode with it being, recording on Halloween, but a lot of shit going on this week, so glad you could join us.
Oh, yeah, it works out. My wife's handing out candy to the kids, and as long as I get to see my nieces and nephews, I'm okay with that. Halloween's one of my favorite holidays, but...
You don't want to be the one to lure kids to your house with candy?
Well, I usually set on my step, dressed up, and scare the crap out of them, but...
Explain that to me. So why... Like, it's really creepy if you just pull up in a van and lure kids to your van with candy. It's creepy if you stand outside of your house or at your door with candy and ask kids to walk by any day of the week except for October 31st to come over to your house for some candy. Why is it okay today?
No, they're dressing up as their goblins and going to the doors and knocking. I mean, nowadays they do the trunk and treat. Everybody just walks up to everybody's cars in a parking lot. Kind of like what you're saying, walking up to the white van. If I did that, I'd have like a Scooby-Doo van or something sitting there, and black van or something.
That's just it. Now it's like, and you're exactly right. That's what the wife's gonna be taking our youngest here over to the church. They got the trunk or treats today, but like. Yeah, not a lot of kids knock on doors, but people still do it. And the kids don't walk anymore. They just they get driven everywhere by their parents. So
right.
You got like ghosts or goblins over in the corner there, or what you got going on?
I'm playing with my setup right now. I changed all my stuff around. As you can see, I got a little different backdrop now. Working on something.
I see that. You have a shed.
Yep, long shed in the upstairs of my house.
You now have a pot shed. You're cool like the developmentally speaking guys.
Yeah, it's just a long room upstairs, but it works out. I'm out of the wife's hair. She can do what she wants downstairs, and I can actually have fun with my friends.
Your wife put you in the attic.
Yep, my idea. Finally got internet up here. It actually works out really good. Cool, I like it.
Cool. Oh, good. Looks good. Looks.
As you can see, if I get a little upset at a video game or whatever I'm doing, I got a nice punching bag back here. I can go take out my aggression.
Well, you can pretend like you're hitting Jake Paul in the face, because we're going to get into him here in a minute, too.
Right.
So anything else going on with you this week?
Not much, just work, and I played some Call of Duty with some friends. That came out over the weekend, so did that. Moved all my stuff upstairs. That took half a day on Saturday. Got everything organized. But other than that, about the same old stuff. It's just Halloween, one of my favorite holidays. But talking with a friend on iRacing the other day, he puts up his Christmas tree at midnight tonight when turns it on. And it's like too early for Christmas. I'm waiting for Thanksgiving now. But
so he doesn't eat turkey?
Yeah, I guess not. That's what I asked him. And he goes, up.
If you don't eat turkey or stuffing or any of that shit, like, I guess you could go ahead and start Christmas, but like if you're gonna do anything for Thanksgiving, I think you ought to like at least buy your turkey before you put up your Christmas tree.
Yeah. Yeah, he said he was putting it up today or tonight, and right at midnight he'll turn on the lights. I'm like, you're crazy. Too early for Christmas.
Yeah, it's a long Christmas. I'm okay with. I'm not against the November Christmas.
No.
But November 1st, maybe a little bit too.
Yeah, our family we were traditionally day after Thanksgiving. We all were off of school when we were kids, and that's when we put up our Christmas tree. But
Yeah. Wife won't let me do anything Christmas till the day after Thanksgiving anyway.
yeah, that's usually how we are too. Me and my wife here at home too. It's usually the day after Christmas.
And she
Sometimes
doesn't
we
even
don't
like
even put up
that.
a tree.
She doesn't even like that. She'd rather much have it like just December 1st or
Yeah.
25th. Like she's a bah humbug. So
But here in Minnesota, it's nice to put up the decorations outside when it's kind of nice out yet. So might
Yeah,
put up
makes
some of
sense.
our lights.
Makes
But
sense. But you're the one that says no snow in December in Minnesota. However, we've already had snow here in Indiana.
no, we haven't. We had a couple flurries just north of us, but we have not seen any here in the town I live in. The area I live in, which is
I'm
nice.
not talking we had like a snowstorm, but
Yeah.
like I woke up in the morning and my grill had snow on it, my car had snow on it. Like
We have not had any measurable snow yet.
that is official snow if it's stuck on something.
Yeah, we have not had that here where I live yet.
So
There was 4 years ago, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, we had a thunderstorm. Full bore lightning, wind, and everything. No snow
well,
with
you
it.
can get those in the winter. That's not
Oh, yeah.
uncommon. That's not
But-
uncommon, but.
Not in Minnesota. If it's gonna do something in the winter, it's usually gonna be snow.
And
not
there is
rain.
such a thing as thunder snow.
There is, and I never want to experience that in my life.
Scared the shit out of you?
It's not a good thing from what I've been told by my older relatives.
Oh, well. I don't think I've ever experienced it either.
No.
But we got a lot to get into. I want to tell
Yeah, we
you
do.
quickly about my week, and it'll touch on some subjects we're going to be going into. Obviously, the end of my week started off with the World Series and the Phillies. Let's go, Phils! Ring that bell, baby! As we sit and in recording, the series is tied at 1. Phil's taking the first game by an awesome comeback. Down
Yeah.
5 runs, 5-0. They're down and come back. Push it to extra innings. JT Realmuto home run in extra innings. Taking game 1 and game 2, a little bit of a different story. A 5-2 loss. We're gonna get into game 2 here in a minute. Got some things I really want to talk about on that. Another thing we had this weekend, our good old fuck buddy Jake Paul had a fight, a fake fight. He did have a fake fight on Saturday, I think it is, beating up an old man. We're gonna get into that here in a moment. I went to a indie, I guess you call it indie, but just kind of local wrestling show yesterday. Took my youngest. We introduced everybody to Developmentally Speaking. I think it was last week, right? And told everybody to check them out. They're a wrestling podcast. They do a lot of wrestling interviews with past superstars and things of that sort. So again, check them out. Developmentally Speaking on Facebook, YouTube. Check them out. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, tell them Back Talk sent you, because I'm going to have some words with these guys at some point. All right. But went and saw a show. One of the guys from Developmentally Speaking is involved with this promotion. They do local shows here in our town or the town over, usually, a couple times a year, 4 or 5 times a year. But the guy from Developmentally Speaking is in it, so I went over to make sure I supported them and supported the show. Fun show, really fun show. Short in length, which was great. We've been to some of their shows that have drug on, because I don't know if anybody's gone to a local wrestling show. But if you haven't, let me tell you, this isn't WWE. This isn't AEW. There is no storyline.
Nope.
It's just guys wrestling. Now they attempt to put a story to some of the matches. Right? And they try to establish heel baby right at the beginning of the match. Right? One guy comes out and goes, "Come on, Seymour! Yay!" And the other guy comes out and goes, "You all suck!" So you know who the heel and the baby is, right? So like that's kind of the way that works. But you go to some of these matches, they put on 10 matches and it's 2.5, 3 hours, and you're just like, by intermission, you're like, I'm going home.
Yeah,
right?
you get sick of it.
Especially my youngest attention span isn't the longest, so we end up leaving at intermission. Well, this one held his attention the entire show. Only 6 matches, hour and a half in length, or close to 2 hours maybe. Short intermission, like 30-minute intermission. Come back after intermission with two matches. 4 matches, intermission, 2 matches. Perfect. Right? The guys in the ring did a phenomenal job. You did have some guys you could tell were a little greener than others, right? And then you had some guys that could just have been around for a while. Couple things I want to talk about is Mortimer Blankenship, from Developmentally Speaking, okay, is a manager for the most part, okay? From Connecticut, rich blood, lives at the country club. Well, Mortimer, listen, you come to the ring with your golf club. But I want to tell you, your golf club is a 1980s ladies 3-wood.
4.
So you might want to upgrade. With all that Connecticut, rich blood money, you might want to upgrade that club. I mean, I'm telling you, Dustin, it's got a baby blue head to it. It's a steel shaft. You can tell that because the 3-wood, it's got a smaller 3-wood head, so it's like an 80s club.
Club's as old as me and you.
And you look at the grip and you go, yeah, I remember that grip when I was growing up playing, in the 80s. So he's got a 1980s women's 3-wood that he carries to the ring with him all the time. So he needs to get himself a new club. Second of all, probably the best performer they've got there, his name is Eric Draven. Okay. Best performer they have, great in-ring, not bad on the mic for the mic work they do. It's not, which isn't much, right?
Yeah.
Again, we're just establishing during the show, just establishing who's good, who's bad, because again, they do shows every week at their building down in very southern Indiana that I don't know if anybody from around here goes to. Okay.
So are those like their weekly shows that they have a storyline going?
They probably do, right? They probably have a storyline going. But these local shows, you don't have a fucking clue.
It's kind of like their live events for like WWE, AEW.
Right. So we're just trying to establish, some heat here. So, some was natural. I would tell you the kickoff match was two looked like younger guys, right? Pretty good in the ring. First guy comes down, he's like, "Yay, Seymour!" And he's got a book. Like, this book is falling apart. It's like like one of those big ass Bibles or whatever, and it's falling apart. It's apparently the book on wrestling. Okay, to put the story to it. But he's like, "Come on, Seymour," and he's trying to play the crowd. So you think, baby, he's the first one out, right? Next one comes out. He's called like the deputy or something, and he's like, "Yeah, come on, Seymour." I'm like, I guess we got baby on baby. Is where we're going.
Right.
But they worked the match in a way to where the crowd turned on one of them.
Cool.
And was booing one of them. So that phenomenal job by them. But back to this Eric Draven guy. Great performer, good on the mic. He's got one downfall. And I'm going to explain him to you, Dustin, and I want you to tell me the first thing that comes to your head in terms of wrestling when I describe him to you. Okay? He's from Texas. Built from Texas. He wears a cowboy hat. He has long blonde hair. He talks with that, I'm gonna get you, my pretty. So, have you gotten this yet, Dustin?
Sounds like the Wicked Witch from the South. To be honest, when you said his name, only one thing came to mind before you even were describing him. And it's the movie The Crow. They need to build him with that, because the guy in The Crow that dies and comes back with this crow, his name is Eric Draven. Okay. Honestly, when he started saying Texas and stuff, I'm thinking like a long blonde-haired version of Stone Cold Steve Austin.
He is Shawn Michaels Jr.
Oh, yeah. I forgot he is from Texas. Yep.
This guy is quite literally Shawn Michaels Jr. And
I spaced out on Shawn.
Like, I've gotta shoot on him for a minute. Like, dude, you've been doing this for a very long time in Indiana. And for a very long time, you've been playing the Shawn Michaels Jr. gimmick. And I say that because it goes back years
right.
that we have gone to see these local shows, right? And he's always performed.
He's a pretty good performer.
Yeah, he's good, but he's Shawn Michaels Jr. Like, break out, be yourself.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Like, even like
because
WWE,
especially yesterday, and I don't think I caught it as much in the previous, but especially yesterday when he's talking on the mic, he even sounds like Shawn. And I'm like, you're just Shawn Michaels. Now I've lost all.
You're Shawn Michaels' son.
Yeah, I've lost all like care in the world or anti-care as a heel, like hating him, just thinking that you're just Shawn Michaels Jr. Like I'm now done with him.
So you're kind of like a guy that likes you want wrestlers nowadays to go off on their own path and not mimic a former wrestler. Is that what you're saying?
You should not be somebody who's already been there. Like,
right.
You know, if you had the second coming of Hulk Hogan, it wouldn't work.
No, definitely wouldn't work.
If you had the second coming of Stone Cold, it wouldn't work. Why does MJF work? Because he's the only one in pro wrestling, and this is prior to him leaving, really.
Right.
Because the dynamic on him has changed in the way that people react to him. But prior to him leaving, he was the only true heel that I could think of in pro wrestling. The only one that could draw heat in pro wrestling. Like, and he kept...
Like, you're talking nowadays, right?
Yeah, he was exactly now. Like, if you think of the dynamic of who's out there in WWE, who's out there in Impact, who's out there in AEW, he's the true heel.
Yeah, he's like the heel of all heels right now. Yep.
But then he left, and here was the downfall of that heel character was him leaving, because no matter what he did after this, he was so good that when he came back, he was going to get the pop.
Right, and he gets the pop, and he tries to get him to go back to that heel with what he talks about, but there's always the pop for him, no matter what.
Yeah,
I don't think there's anything.
He has gone as far as calling the people that cheer for him devil worshippers.
Yep.
And they cheer it when he says it.
I don't think there's anything that they can do in a storyline that would make him go back to what he was before the whole Mike the mic bomb to happen.
No.
There's no way,
No.
It's kind of like the whole CM Punk thing back in WWE when he had his, his coming out, setting on the stage, his mic drop and all that, or whatever they call that, pipe bombs. When that pipe bomb happened, and, the fans just loved him. They didn't hate him for it. They loved seeing the real person, I guess is what I want to say.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's what I'm saying. He's true heel. He's true character. He's just one of a kind right now. He's that old school heel. Yes. Am I saying, okay, so he's reincarnating the heel, but he's not being somebody else, right? So Shawn Michaels Jr. Hear me out here. Eric Draven, a.k.a. Shawn Michaels Jr. Fucking do something. Because now I don't, just the way you were Sunday and hearing you talk, I don't give two shits about your character anymore. I don't want to see you get your ass beat as a heel. I don't want to see you get over as a baby. Fucking do something.
Step up.
Don't be fucking Shawn Michaels anymore. But on the side note, I do want you to check everybody out there to check out their stuff. So it is Supreme. Is this it? If you go to Supreme Wrestling -events on Facebook, that is them. Supreme Wrestling Events. Supreme Wrestling Events. And Dustin, if you do that now, you'll see on their background photo, he is on it. You can see Shawn Michaels Jr. yourself. And they have worked with Shark Boy, and then of course on there is Mortimer Blankenship as well. From Developmentally Speaking, check them out. Even though they fucking do their show from a pod shed. I don't know who needs a pod shed. We still don't even know who needs a pod shed. But
Shawn Michaels Jr.
Supreme Wrestling -events. You see Shawn Michaels Jr.?
Yep.
Now, when I say it,
he's the one on the left.
Right? When I say it, does it not just look like him?
Yeah. Honestly, like I said, when you said Eric Draven, that's not the vision I got of him.
If you find Eric Draven on Facebook, what is Shawn Michaels' move?
Sweet chin music.
Okay.
Flying
if
elbow.
you go there, his background photo on his profile on Facebook is him giving a super kick. Come on, man.
At least they have a different finishing move.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Better. We need to do better than that. So anyway, that was my weekend. Check them out. Supreme Wrestling Events on Facebook. Developmentally Speaking on Facebook and YouTube. Tell him Back Talk sent you. Tell Morty he needs to upgrade his golf club. And tell both of them on Developmentally Speaking that if they have time and their mom allows them out of the shed, I'd like to speak with them. We got one email. Titmaster here. Happy Halloween. The Halloween costumes were awesome. If you missed last week's episode, Dustin was Pinhead. Tony's woman dressed up as Tony. I played Justin, and Justin played me. There's a short video out there on it. It's freaking hilarious. Every time I watch it, I'm cracking up. So go out there and find that. Titmaster says, my best costume would have been when I dress up like a vampire. Oh, Titmaster is a vampire. She's sucking the blood. Robotic umps. So what happens if there's a malfunction with this ump? Then what will they do? Technology does fail from time to time. and isn't always accurate. Wish they would leave sports alone when it comes to this stuff. Human error is a part of the game. I completely agree with that. They are going to have a home plate umpire, from what I understand. But he's going to be given an earpiece that tells him if it's a ball or a strike. So I guess he's supposed to still be the backup.
That's going to be interesting. Wait.
But okay, so speaking on that, in Game 2, there is a Twitter handle out there that rates umpires and their performances. And in Game 2 of the World Series, the umpire behind home plate had a 100% balls and strikes. Did not miss one.
Yep.
So it can be done. We just need to get rid. Don't go to robots because you want to keep Angel Hernandez around.
Right.
Get rid of Angel Hernandez. We don't need fucking robots. Just fucking, if you can't call a ball and a strike, you're gone. You have to have a 89% or 93% or whatever efficiency. Could be higher than that. I don't care. Whatever. Make up a fucking number.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you're on a probie, right? You're probation. And then if you fail to do it again, now you're on a final warning. Right? Yeah. And you can have, you're going to have a bad game. But Angel Hernandez has a bad game every game he calls.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a 3 strikes, you're out. Right? You have 3 fucking really bad games within a range of numbers, right? Don't say, and it could be easy. Just fucking make it 93%. If you can't get within 93% of called balls and strikes,
you should be upping in baseball in the major leagues.
So you're gonna miss some, right? It happens. But this is, I don't want to see where Major League Baseball puts the ball on a tee for these guys.
And hitting 100 home runs a season.
Okay. Anyway. I find it hard to believe that the individual told you they had sex for 2 hours. I don't know if somebody told me that personally. I know people who brag.
Brag about it. Yeah.
Wife brought up the 2 hour thing to me, and I'm like, yeah, fucking somebody's bullshitting. And she said the same thing. She's like, somebody's fucking bullshit. I did a poll. So she did a poll with a few friends of mine over the weekend. 60% of women said yes, they can get sex crazes. 40% said no, they don't. But more women do than don't.
Right.
So and Justin was wanting to answer that question, but he's too busy, luring kids to his house with candy. I also told them about the 2 hour sex event, and they did not believe me. And had a few comments. Did he take something? That would be painful. I would want to have a man that could go that long. That can't just be sex. They had to be doing stuff. I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I don't fucking know.
It goes back to what we said last week. When does a timer start for sex?
Well, that's the thing. So, all right. So, if somebody goes, I could go for 2 hours, do they think they can pump it for 2 fucking hours? Because I'd have a heart attack and die.
I'd shrivel up and die.
I could fucking lay in the bed naked for 2 hours. Be like, oh, I touch a boob every 15 seconds or 15 minutes. I can do that.
Yeah.
But even if you're fucking around for a while, right? At some point, you're like, all right, I need to get this out of me.
Yep.
It becomes painful.
Get this demon out of me.
Like, I don't know. Am I crazy saying that, Dustin?
No. I mean, in a way, it's all about making her happy for me, but in the end, it's like you just got to get it done at some point.
Yeah. Like, you can't, like, I'm sorry. Like, there is nobody there that's going, pumping for fucking 2 hours.
No. There is no way. I agree with Titmaster's email. Either they're taking something and they have that 4-hour erection that they're not supposed to have.
Still, like, who the fuck is it gonna be tired?
You're gonna be dehydrated. Your muscles are gonna fall off. You're gonna be sore.
Like, what a fucking marathon runner.
Yeah, you're gonna take off a whole next day of doing any activities because you're gonna be passed out in your bed because you can't move.
Your fucking dick's gonna be raw.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. So that was the email.
Thank you, Titmaster, for constantly emailing us.
Right on. And all you listeners out there, you too can email us if you just sit down at your little phone and type in backtalkus@gmail.com and send us your thoughts and questions because we would love to read them and answer them. Probably not truthfully. Probably not truthfully, but like we'll answer them.
We'll answer them. You just never know what's right and wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, yeah. You ask me a question, I'm just fucked. I'm just give you an answer. I don't care.
We'd love to hear from anybody though.
Yeah. So send us a fucking email. We do want to hear from you. You don't have if emailing is too much for you, like you don't email. You could actually tweet us too. At BACC. We're on the Twitter machine. So tweet at us. Just go on there and say, Justin, stop feeding the little kitties candy. Not getting anywhere with that. Just because you don't like strippers doesn't mean it's okay to go the other direction. We talked about
Part
that.
Part of me wishes I lived next to him or near him. I would actually go dressed up as a stripper to his house right now.
So where do we want to go next here, Dustin? Because we got a couple things we need to talk about, and one is Jake Paul.
Right.
We want to get into a little bit of the. We got to talk about Sami Zayn and the Usos, and we got to talk about Uncle Howdy.
Let's stick with the wrestling thing since that's what we're here with right now, kind of yet. But the Sami Zayn and the Usos thing, honestly, Friday night, the Usi thing was probably the best thing I've ever heard. You're not Usi enough.
It is fantastic, and it's all Sami Zayn. This bloodline stuff now would have been dead a long time ago if it wasn't for Sami Zayn.
Honestly, watching each person in the ring when Sami Zayn said that, I mean, it's like, what is going on? I mean, watching all their faces like quiver up, cover their mouths, put their heads down. I mean, he got every bloodline character to break character in a single word.
Yeah, Usi.
Usi.
and then like if you follow, and he just keeps it going because if you follow him on Twitter, he said it on Twitter, like Jay needs to become more Usi. He just tweeted out today. He's like, it's like, oh my god, like he is the bloodline right now.
Oh,
Because
definitely.
The only reason, and I have to be honest, like I never bought into Roman. Okay?
No.
Ever. But again, this goes back to me being at the Rumble in Philadelphia.
Yep.
Right? Shoving Roman down our throats. Shoving Roman down our throats. And then I'm sitting there at the Royal Rumble that I spent a lot of money for, and they fucking put him over in the Rumble. And not even The Rock could save him. And the whole place wanted to riot. I can't get behind Roman.
No.
Never have.
I'm the same way.
So, the only reason I'm watching and tuning in to see what's going on with Roman Reigns right now and the Bloodline is Sami Zayn.
I'm with you 110% on that.
Because other than that, Roman is just another Brock Lesnar, a non-wrestling champion.
Yep.
And
look at his match coming up this week.
Now that one's gonna piss me off. It already pisses me off that Paul's in this fucking match. But did you see the latest?
I don't know if I have. I've seen some stuff, but I don't know if what I'm thinking is what you're thinking.
So, Paul Heyman said that he had screws in his hand from breaking his hand younger or something like that.
Okay, yep.
So they now have sent out an X-ray photo of a hand with screws in it and saying that's the hand that can deliver the one punch.
The one lucky punch.
I swear to shit, Dustin. They put the fucking belt on Logan fucking Paul. I'm gonna find his ass. I'm gonna find his brother's ass. I'm gonna tie him up and I'm gonna fucking super kick him as a shoot. Both of them.
I hope it doesn't happen either, because I don't think it'll happen either, just because I think they got bigger plans for what this bloodline thing is going on. And if Roman drops titles to Logan, I mean, what else is there left for the bloodline? I mean, there's really not much else there. The only way that it would actually work is like if The Rock would show up there and challenge or do something. You know, that I shouldn't say work. That's the only way that I would understanding it happen, and I don't see it happening at that pay-per-view at that venue. I just don't.
First of all, it's a pay-per-view that half the people don't even watch live.
Right, during the day on a Saturday.
So, I don't think it, but I swear to you, because you've got so many people on that roster, that Logan Paul doesn't belong on the fucking roster to begin with.
No. It goes back to what you were saying about
where did he put his dues in? When was he in NXT?
Never. How many matches has he had? 1, 2?
Yeah, it blows my fucking mind. And if they put a belt on him, it's David Arquette all over again.
If they would ever split the belts, which I think they need to do, kind of maybe a different world there, but I still wouldn't put a belt on Logan Paul at this moment in his life or in his career. Second, third match of his career, and he gets the belt.
Wow.
I mean, how does that work?
It just the only way it works is he holds the belt for about 5 minutes, and Austin Theory comes down and cashes in.
Yeah, that would be the only way it would actually work out. And honestly, I think if Logan Paul does win, I think Theory cashes in. But
well, here's the thing I think about Theory. But we'll talk about Theory for just a moment.
A brief moment.
I don't like him. I think he's terrible.
Well,
he was McMahon's puppy, and I don't think Triple H likes him.
No,
he's pretty much burying him.
Yep. He's losing matches kind of consistently, and I think they're gonna hold off. I've read some stuff, and I've been thinking this for a little bit. You know, they have a year to cash us in since the last Money in the Bank pay-per-view. What if they hold on to it till that night, and then right after he cashes it in, it's like a year later, it's after that fact, and then they say he can't cash in? I think that's how they're going to end that story. That's just what I feel, and that's what I've kind of read, which would be stupid, but I still think they're going to eventually make it to where Theory puts the briefcase on the line against somebody.
They just take it off him. They did it to Otis.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They'll have a match for it, and that person
Yeah,
would win
they
it.
took it. They went, yeah, Otis isn't the right guy, and they took it off him. So
We'll see what happens with that. I mean, that's kind of down the line. I still think there's something going on with that, but I don't think Theory would be a good champion either. He's not a face of WWE, in my opinion. He's not. Like you said, he
No.
was Vince's puppy dog. Pretty boy. Whatever you want to call him.
So, let's shift from Theory, who's garbage, to probably the hottest thing in WWE right now, Bray Wyatt. Let's start getting the theories going, okay?
There's a lot of them.
There is. So, tell me your theory, Dustin. Who is behind Uncle Howdy?
I don't know who's behind the mask. I still feel it's Bray for playing a character, but if I'm going to say somebody, I would have to say it's Bo Dallas behind the mask. But there's so many tall tales theories there that it could be Wyndham behind, what is it? Bray's uncle, Bill Wyndham. Is that his name? Bill?
Mm.
There. But like on Friday night, if you look at the face of Uncle Howdy, you had the cross earrings. That could be Bo Dallas.
But didn't
You got the
Bray
bill.
have the same earring on?
Yep. That's what I mean. I think it's Bray behind the mask. I think it's Bray playing the character, kind of like the
It's
Fiend.
Bray's voice.
It is.
So the
But-
Wyndham 6. The Wyndham, the pause was my wife dressed up in a, I don't know what the fuck she is.
She waved. I waved.
Anyway, they're leaving. They're going to trunk or treat. The Wyndham 6, to me, is going to be 6 characters of Bray Wyatt. He's
Yeah.
fighting within himself. Now, how
Fighting.
you portray that in the ring, I don't know. It's yet to be seen.
The only other
Because
thing
eventually he has to get in the ring.
yeah. Technically, eventually there's going to be a match, and I don't know how they're going to do this. But the other theory that I saw, and I read this, and I didn't recognize it till it's out there, but if you look at Uncle Howdy's eye, it's got that eye kind of like Black, Aleister Black. And I know
Still
he's
under contract. With
He's still
AEW.
under contract. No, and I agree. But that's why all these theories are coming out. I mean, and they're still popping up QR codes, but I can never get them to work. I don't know if you've tried or not.
So it's difficult, okay?
Very
Because
difficult.
They go so fast, you have to rewind and fast forward
Yep.
and try to pause at the exact time that it's on.
And it's only like a frame or two.
Yeah. So that's why I just tried to search the internet. What the fuck the QR codes?
Yeah,
But
and I
ever since Extreme Rules, I haven't looked at any QR codes.
No,
I'll be
me
honest.
either.
So I'm enjoying the story for what it is now. And there's not a whole lot of chatter or talk out there about the new QR codes anyway. It's kind of, I think people were into it because they were waiting for it to be Bray, wanting it to be Bray.
They were going down the rabbit hole.
They got what they want, and they don't care about the QR codes anymore because we're going to see them in the ring.
Yep.
That's my opinion.
I think it still goes back with all those teasers back then. I think like the Joey Gase and all these other things were just teasers for characters, but I don't think they're going to go that route. I mean, you got Corbin now with his new character, the God of Wrestling or whatever JBL's calling him. So I mean, I think Corbin's out. I think it was just stuff just to get people talking and get people more intrigued and to get more people to tune into SmackDown to see what is coming next.
Or maybe these are people he's going after.
That too. Could be easily that too.
And so, but obviously with Bianca being one of them, right, with Belair, one of the 6 would have to be a woman.
Yeah. That's why, in a way, I kind of feel like Liv Morgan's there too, because she's starting to show that dark side, that smile she keeps portraying every week. It's like, okay, what's going on here? Or could there be two women? You just don't know.
Yeah. It's playing out too slow for me at this point.
Yep. I'm with you 110% on that.
Because we're getting the same promo every week now. Basically.
Yep.
We're getting a promo with Bray in the ring and then Uncle Howdy showing up on the screen.
But you're getting a different version of Uncle Howdy about every week.
Yeah, but it's...
like more definitive.
It's a little...
It's slow. You get 5 to 10 minutes at the end of SmackDown or at some point during the show or in the middle. And it's like, okay, I watched this whole episode waiting for this, and this is what I got for the same thing again.
Yeah, and so if they're going to play it slow like this, I'd like to see it on both episodes, both Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, and not just once a week. Again, I think it's a ratings thing. We're trying to boost SmackDown. We're doing everything we can to boost SmackDown right now, which is why Roman's on SmackDown.
Yep.
Raw is almost your secondary show now. So, I don't know. I don't know. It's just too slow for me. I hope it picks up. I think Uncle Howdy. I think man behind the mask is Bray. I'm not buying this Bo earring thing. I think Bo Dallas is going to be involved somehow.
I think they're just putting Easter eggs out there to keep people talking, and it's just something to keep going.
But are people talking like they were talking before?
No. You have your certain areas that are like you have your Facebook pages, and your
are
bigger.
They going too slow with it and losing people's?
I think so. I'm losing interest in it, and I was pretty big on it right away. Once it started happening, it's like, okay, what's going on here? This is something they need to do more, is what we all were saying. But if they go slow with it after he comes back, is this something fans are going to buy into later when they do this with somebody else?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They need to speed it up. I don't know how they speed it up. I mean, it's
slow now. Like somebody or something's got to come down, and two things have to be in the ring.
So, in my opinion, to speed it up, I think it would help. Like right away, I was kind of thinking that they would do Bray coming down. Like the first week, him just talking and having that quick thing, that was kind of cool, and then maybe start branching in. But if they're gonna do this Wyatt 6 or Wyndham 6, whatever they want to call it. I was hoping they would just slowly reveal the faction if they were really going to do other people.
Yeah.
Like, first week, Abby the Witch comes down, and it's Alexa, just saying. I don't really care who it would be. And then you got the Buzzard coming down, and it's Corbin. Every week, do something like that, leading up to Survivor Series for a match against the Bloodline, to me, it would be cool. But it's too slow for that to happen, and it's not what they're going. That's what I was hoping for. Because to me, that would have been slow, but it would have kept me intrigued. Now it's just Uncle Howdy coming on there, interrupting him, and being like, "Oh, hi, we killed the world."
It's almost it's almost the same promo, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, so he comes out and you called me. Like, if they're going in a direction of you wouldn't leave me alone, you kept trying to bring me back, and the direction is he's not actually talking to the fan base, and he's talking to somebody like Uncle Howdy, right? We need to advance on that.
Yep, we need to go. Yep.
We can't just be, continue at I'm here to do bad things. Now his thing is I'm here to do bad things.
With the way this is going, I feel this is going to go all the way out to WrestleMania, and that's way too long for this to keep going.
It's fucking April.
April, yeah. But I have a feeling that's where it's ending, and where he's gonna have his first actual match back, and you're gonna lose it. He's gonna lose that thunder that he has right now, and I mean, like I said, I was hoping it would end up being Survivor Series would be his first match, and actually have this Wyatt 6 versus Bloodline, whatever.
I mean, you could in my opinion, the furthest you could stretch it would be Rumble.
That's the furthest I think they can, and to me that's still too long. But yeah. But
I don't know. It's let's hope that they advance the storyline somewhere. Give us something because it's become boring.
Give us something extra this week on SmackDown, please, and thank you.
Yeah. Let's switch gears off to WWE for a moment and quickly touch on AEW because there's a lot of stories coming out on AEW and not good ones. We're not talking about in-ring. We're not talking about the performers. We're talking about the company here. The Young Bucks, Omega, Hangman's already back. But the Elite is supposed to be coming back. They did a short promo thing on AEW last week where it was like more like a commercial. They weren't actually there. So they're coming back, and then on the other hand, you have the news of Punk. And the news on Punk, if you haven't heard, is that they are in talks of buying out, AEW's in talks with Punk on buying out the rest of his contract. Apparently there's a bunch of people in the locker room that say they won't work with him.
Yep.
First of all, who runs the fucking show? Dustin,
Tony
if
Khan.
you're on my show and I said, you're going to go work with CM Punk and you told me I'm not going to, I'm going to tell you you're fucking fired.
Yep. Oh, I hear you there.
Or I'm going to suspend you for insubordination because if I can suspend you, that hurts you worse than firing you.
Yeah.
Because if they sit at home, you can extend their contracts.
Right, because they're not obligated, they're not doing their contract. You can extend it a longer period of time, yeah.
Correct. So if you told me that I'm not going to fucking work with them, I'm going to tell you, well, didn't go the fuck home. You're suspended.
Until you want to wrestle CM Punk, you're going home.
So this whole shit started because nobody was in charge. The
Right.
children ran the asylum.
Pretty much.
But then you have Jericho coming out and saying, Punk's a cancer. Apparently he went to CM Punk after the media scrum, before the Young Bucks stormed the locker room, and told Punk he's a cancer. And that he shouldn't have done what he did. Jericho's a veteran of the
Industry.
yeah, and so are his words stronger than these guys who apparently act like fucking children, but they're saying the same thing.
See, I think like with us, we only know CM Punk as the wrestler. You know, maybe he is a hard person to work with. We don't know, but I mean, I guess if I'm a upcoming superstar and I get asked to go work with CM Punk in a match or a storyline, I'd be all for it. By knowing what he is now, I don't know what he is like a person or, you know, but that's gonna help put me over in a feud with CM Punk.
Yeah.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong thinking that, but I mean, it'd be like
If you're
going
in the ring,
into
if you're in a program, and I'm not just talking about a one-off match, I'm talking about if you're in a program with Punk, you are going to become a bigger name.
your name's going to become bigger. And then if he puts you over by letting you, or, you know, not shouldn't say letting you, but a storyline puts you over by beating him, your career takes off. Even if you lose to him, your career is like, hey, you had a good match with CM Punk. It was a clean match. Or you lost stupidly, whatever. But to me, that helps put you over as a wrestler. I mean, I'd like, I don't know.
So all you got to do is go into the ring, wrestle with a guy who I think is a very safe worker.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe maybe he's an asshole, right? But you don't have to fucking do anything other than go out and put on a show with him.
Yeah,
Nobody said you had to go to dinner with him and have drinks and, you know, room together in a hotel or ride together on the road. You have to go out for 15 fucking minutes,
put
on a show, and probably maybe an hour or two about talking about what you're going to do.
Yep. I'm with you 110%.
And to sit there and, as a younger guy and be like, all right, Punk, what do you want to do? Because letting him just dictate what you want to do in the ring is going to be so much better than you probably can put together as a younger superstar.
Yep. You're going to learn from an experienced wrestler.
Like, how pretentious are these fuckers to be like, I'm not going to work with them? The only one I can trust their word on is Jericho.
Right, and that's just because he's, in my opinion, above Punk in wrestling because of what he's all done. But I don't see their point in it. I mean, like I said, it's got to be how he is to them outside the ring. But like you said, 15-minute match. That's all you got to do with them.
Yeah.
I mean, most matches they're designed, they're played out. But most matches don't go out the way they're played out. They're played out in the ring with what happens in the ring.
Yeah, you usually have a start, high spots that you want to hit, and a finish.
Yep.
And you work to get to those points.
I mean, I don't see their problem with working with Punk. I mean, I wouldn't a heartbeat. I know I'm a broken record saying that. But I mean, I feel he, like you said, he's a safe worker. He's going to put you, he's going to try to put you over. Even if you don't beat him, he's going to try to make you look better than what you are right now. He's going to advance you. To me, I don't think I've ever seen him bury a superstar. At least in my eyes, I don't think he's ever buried anybody. Not like the cases like with John Cena or some of these other superstars that buried, people by just beating them. I'm not saying John Cena is a bad wrestler. Just saying, I mean, some of the storylines that he's buried, some of these, like John Cena, some of these bigger superstars have buried upcoming talent. They haven't put them over.
Right.
And
that was Punk's whole idea in coming back is to help bring
mold it.
Bring up some of these newer superstars, right? And so, which is what Jericho's doing, right? And a lot of people don't like what Jericho's doing. What Jericho's doing right now is some of the best shit he's done in his entire career.
Yeah, definitely.
He's working with everybody. It's not like, and he's losing a lot of fucking matches, right? Now he's the Ring of Honor champion. But he is bringing a whole new breed of people to know the history of Ring of Honor.
Right. Yeah, how many more people are going to check out Ring of Honor just because of this?
Tomorrow night, right? He's going to face a ex-Ring of Honor champion.
Yep.
Do you know how many ex-Ring of Honor champions there are that are great wrestlers right now?
Probably not too many.
It could be anybody. What if Forbidden Door's open? What if?
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw a name out there. Kevin Steen. A lot of people know him as Kevin Owens.
Yep.
Seth Rollins, who wrestled under another name in Ring of Honor. Daniel Bryan. CM Punk.
See, I don't know a lot about Ring of Honor, so.
These people have been Ring of Honor champions.
So there's a lot of history there.
We don't know who his opponent is tomorrow night. It's an ex-Ring of Honor champion.
Could be anybody.
And what they're doing is his storyline is he's shitting on Ring of Honor. Okay? He's going against the Code of Honor, where the handshake before the match, just shitting all over their history. What he's doing is he's beating all these Ring of Honor currents and Ring of Honor past. And what you're going to have at the culmination of this is somebody, don't know who this is yet, because I think this is going to go on for a while.
Right.
Somebody's going to be the hero to come back and save Ring of Honor from Chris Jericho.
I can see that. It's a good storyline if that's how that plays out.
I mean, he is shitting on him. He's taken their ring announcer and beat them up. He's taken, their old past champion, 70-year-old man, and pile drive him, So this is Jericho pissing and shitting all over Ring of Honor, and somebody's going to have to show up to save Ring of Honor from Chris Jericho.
So, and you've probably followed Ring of Honor a little more than I have. You know some past champions. Who would be your past champion to beat him? Who would you want? If you can name, doesn't matter where they're at now, but who would you want as a past champion of Ring of Honor?
You know, some of the best champions were Seth. Seth was one of the best champions. Punk was one of the best champions. Although it was later in the Ring of Honor days, Cody Rhodes, another past Ring of Honor champion. That goes way back. But somebody like Jay Lethal can come and do the whole babyface turn. Right now, he's really kind of nowhere to be found in bad storylines. Samoa Joe. There's just what you're saying. The door's wide open. Yeah, it's who's that key ingredient? And then there's a lot of Ring of Honor champions you've never heard of, right?
Right.
So it's and what they're doing is they're also rebuilding Ring of Honor.
Yep.
Ring of Honor folded. Tony Khan bought it. It's not a thing really right now. I guess they put on a couple pay-per-views here and there. But that's just Tony Khan putting on another show. But I think this is to build Ring of Honor back to a brand, and then we're going to have another wrestling program to watch.
Right. Like you said, they're trying to build it back up, trying to fix it to where it was back in the day.
Yeah. So we'll just have to see. But the reason I brought
It'd
up
be fun to watch it play out.
Jericho is because of what he said about Punk. But on the other end of the Punk's thing is the Young Bucks and Omega. And them returning soon, if not this week, very soon, right? If people are saying stuff about Punk and AEW is trying to buy out their contract, why are these guys still employed? They're fucking officers of the company. And I said this after the whole thing went down. I don't give a shit who threw a punch first. I don't. There's not been any charges brought. So the latest story that seems to be the best direction of how it went down is the Bucks kicked in the door to Punk's locker room, and Punk threw the first punch. However, under the law, Punk was in the right to be able to defend himself based on the entry to the ring.
Correct.
Punk's dog was also injured.
Didn't know that one.
So when they kicked in the door, apparently the dog was close to the door. The door hit the dog and knocked some of the dog's teeth out.
Wow.
I
never knew that part
somebody
of it.
Too. There's more and more coming out almost every day now on this because of stuff that's going on. But to be that aggressive as officers of the fucking company.
It's not right.
We're going to bring them back, and I hope everybody just boos the fucking shit out of them, and not in a heat type of way. I'm talking real heat to where it's, we don't want to fucking see your faces.
You know, to me, like, if I was in that work environment, I'd be like, am I safe to be here? You know, and what's going to happen if I say something wrong, I guess is what I'm trying to say there. Is, am I the next one to get my door beat in and beat the crap out of, you know, fighting in a locker room?
Yeah.
You know, an actual fight.
If I don't like what's going
on, if
I don't like what's going on, these guys are going to come, you know, team up on me 3-on-1.
Yep. If it's a storyline thing, different world. But when it's real life things, like something that happened, that's a whole different world. And that's what happened there. It was real world.
Yeah. So, yeah, this wasn't a storyline. This was a real fight.
This is real world. Yeah.
And this is officers of the fucking company. And if Tony Khan is dumb enough to keep them on as officers of the company and employable, then Tony Khan will hopefully get what he deserves.
Yeah.
In a lawsuit or whatever.
Oh, with you 110% on that. I mean, it's like in real life stuff too. I mean, if that would happen in real life, like at your own job or something like that, your executive came down and beat the crap out of you, you wouldn't need to win the Powerball anymore.
No. So, all right. So let's take it from a real fight, and let's talk about a fake fight that happened.
Fake
over
fight.
The weekend. Jake fucking Paul has a boxing match with Anderson Silva, who, if you're not familiar with Anderson Silva, he is an ex-fake MMA champion. UFC champion, fake UFC champion. They're all fucking fake. Remember this, because if you don't believe me now, the footage is there. Okay.
Think there must have been some sort of miscommunication going on there between him and his teammate.
What the fuck was that?
What?
Somebody came in and started randomly talking about something. It wasn't. I thought you were playing something.
About their teammate. Fucking Lou is done, I guess.
He could turn me into a human, but he just screamed and threw his wand at me and ran away. A simple "oh" would have sufficed, kid.
Well, thanks for interrupting. We'll mute him now. So, Jake Paul fight with Anderson Silva. First of all, they touted this as a sellout. There are pictures that the fucking arena's empty.
The arena's empty.
Okay. Jake Paul is like 25 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And Anderson Silva is 47 years old.
Yep.
Jake Paul, you're beating up Grandpa.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? and like, I'm 6-0 in boxing matches. First of all, watch some of the highlights from this. Motherfucker can't throw a punch to save his fucking life. He's like jumping and throwing punches. His hook comes from fucking the stands. It's not even in left field or right field. It's in the stands. Mm-hmm. It comes all the way. Like, dude, if you were throwing that fucking hook at me, you'd be like on the fucking canvas.
Right.
Especially against anybody who could fight. Anderson Silva, hello. Like, I know you're not a boxer, but like, you know how to fucking punch people.
Yeah.
Right.
And so Jake Paul does win this fight. He doesn't knock out Silva.
No.
He wins by decision. However, in the 8th round, he knocks Silva down with a phantom punch. And if you don't believe me, the footage is fucking... What the fuck is going on?
We're getting visitors.
They must be done fondling little children and getting them to come over so they can fondle them with giving them candy.
Well, it's slow here, so that's why I figured I'd hop on real quick.
Well,
yeah, same.
Keep trying to entice children to your house with candy, okay?
That's what Skelly's for.
Exactly.
So, watch the footage. It's out there. This punch that Jake Paul throws misses Anderson Silva's nose by about an inch. He throws it right in front of his face, misses his nose by an inch. It's a hook, so it comes sweeping across his face, misses him completely, and Silva goes down.
Will Smith, Chris Rock all over again.
I'm gonna look at it now on YouTube.
Justin, I sent you the link. It's in the chat.
Oh,
Oh.
So, flat out, I mean, you tell me, I keep telling people this shit's rigged. It's fucking fake. There is no combat sport that is real. It is all fucking fake. And Jake Paul, you're a fucking joke. Because even if you were fighting for real, you're fighting
didn't look like
old fucking men.
Mm-hmm.
So Dustin, what's your take on all this?
I was not even intrigued in the match, nor would I ever be, just because I know it's going to be this bull crap, dance around the ring, act like you know what you're doing thing. But when you start throwing fake punches and guys go down, it's just not right. Like I said, I thought about the Will Smith, Chris Rock thing all over again. I mean, these gimmick matches that they're trying to pull to keep boxing relevant just ain't happening for many people. Boxing is not what it used to be back in the days with Mike Tyson and Holyfield and all this, and it's just not fun to watch. And UFC is getting to the point where it's not fun to watch either because they're not fighting like they used to.
Even if it was real back in the day, okay? With the concussions, with the injuries, with the things of that sort, people, if you want to watch it for entertainment value, and entertainment value only, like wrestling, then have at it if you enjoy it.
Right.
But don't be betting on these fucking things. Don't think that, these guys are fucking out there socking the shit out of each other, because they're fucking not. It's fucking fake. Yeah. So there, Justin has it up right there. The sweeping punch.
There's a punch that would send him in the other direction, but he falls down from the fake one.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering if that was enough to clean his
He gets a little
block.
short jab, like a pushing jab. It's not even a jab, right? It's a pushing jab.
I'm pushing you out of the way.
Yeah,
That first one,
he throws a left-handed jab, which is a push. It's not even a punch. Like a punch follows through. He lands it on him and pushes his face. Okay?
Yeah.
And it doesn't even look like he's swinging that hard. And then he comes through with the hook and completely misses him. And Silva goes down on a reaction from the hook.
Yep.
So he swings with his right.
He's going in that direction.
So the right hook, if landed, Silva would then fall to his right because of the direction the punch is coming from.
So that was a telegraph then, that first one.
Which he does.
Right? That first one was like, we're about to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the first one's pushing his head back. Hey, this is where I need you to be for my back.
Okay. Yeah, because, I mean, it could look bad in any direction. It could look like he's got a late reaction to that first punch, if there was more to it than that. Or it could be like what you said. He's like, it's a setup. Like, here it comes. Here comes the stunt. Yeah. That's more interesting than the fucking whole match itself, I'm going to tell you right now.
Don't watch it. Don't watch
and so there was other. So this is like celebrity boxing all over again, right? Like, because on this card you had there was an ex-football player or something on the card too. I think it was a football player. I wasn't that interested to know, and the only reason I even really knew when the fight was for Jake Paul is because I do follow him on Twitter so that I could fucking roast his ass. But that's it. So he won. And here's the thing. So I guess if he's just into fighting old men, I'm too young for him to fight.
No, Tony, don't say that. I mean, no, Andy, don't say that.
I'm too young. You want to answer the call, right? So I'm not 47 yet. right? I'm still a couple years.
Le'Veon Bell fought in that card.
Yes, that's what it was. Le'Veon
I'm
Bell.
looking at the card. I'm looking for it. And I'm like, really? He lost.
Yeah. So it's celebrity boxing.
Well, see, you bring that up, Andy. I mean, in a way, I would rather watch Celebrity Deathmatch than watch this stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Like the clay?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. It's fucking fake. It's rigged. There's a predicted outcome. So, and they have people betting on this shit.
So that you're talking about the betting there. So do you think the betting portrays who wins and who loses? So if you were gonna bet on that fight, Jake Paul versus Anderson Silva, if you were out of you three, who would you have put your money on? Who would you have put the money on to win that fight?
All right, I'm going to tell you who, and I'm going to give you an explanation.
That's
Okay.
what I'm hoping for here.
I would have put my money on Jake Paul. Why? It's a bigger storyline
Yeah.
than him getting beat up by an ex-professional fighter.
Yep.
And they had a bet on the line. Him and Silva had a bet on the line. And that bet was twofold, okay? If Silva won the match, they would have had Jake Paul would have fought him in a kickboxing match, which that would have been the death of Jake Paul. Okay. If Paul won, Anderson Silva has to team up with him to form a fighters alliance or union to fight for fighters to get more pay, health insurance, things of that sort. So which one benefits more, money-wise?
I agree with you, Andy.
Yeah, definitely.
I just wish this fucker was more of a heel. I'd rather him be losing, because it'd be much more fun to see him get beat.
So now him and Silva are gonna form this alliance or union for fighters so fighters can now get more money. Well, what does unions do?
Take money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I looked up the odds, and going into the fight, this is off of Caesars. Paul was the 240 favorite, and Silva was getting plus 200 as the underdog.
Mm-hmm.
Well, fuck, just age alone. Should have been favored.
Right. But I mean, it comes down to the point where you're gonna bet on, do they play out the fight on how the betting odds are so the casino can make money as well?
It's a slippery slope because then you're gonna have to start going down that slope with other sports.
Well, not saying it doesn't happen in other sports. You've seen some phantom calls in the NFL. Look at, I look in the NFL and I know I'm kind of going off tangent here, but the one play that I'll never forget is the pass interference play in New Orleans. The defensive pass interference when he decked the guy. How do you not call that? That's not to get it where we could challenge. That's not where we can get to challenge pass interference penalties. There was money on the line, and they weren't going to call it.
And it's happened in the NBA. There was refs that were purposefully calling games so that the outcome of the game would be within a certain point range.
Right, and it's always going to be in sports. I don't think there's any way around it. They're going to find a way to do it and all that. I mean, I hope that's not what they're doing because that just takes the fun out of it. But to me, it's not fun watching these celebrity matches that shouldn't be happening.
No. And so until Jake Paul fights somebody who calls him out, hello, Jake, fucking step in the ring, you fucking pussy. Show me it's not fake. Seriously.
Step in the ring with somebody.
Fucking punch me in the face and show me it's not fake.
Andy, if this fight does go on, you got to get more tattoos by the time it's like show up. You know?
Oh, is that like the thing you have to have tattoos to fight?
Yeah. Well, he has a ton of them. Like it just looks like.
Well, it'd be the
made
twos
so
versus
many
the
decisions.
knots. I don't have any.
So is it true? Is it true that he called out Nate Diaz after this fight?
Nate Diaz showed up in his locker room, and that was a planned thing prior to the fight because there was talk prior to the fight.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. So are you intrigued in that match?
No.
Who are you betting on in that match, if you would bet?
If it was a real fight,
Nate Diaz.
Nate Diaz is fucking crazy motherfucker. Kick his ass. But, like, if it was a real fight, but it's not. So,
It's not.
I don't know.
No, I'm just saying. I don't know what they're charging for these pay-per-views, but I don't know why people want to watch it. I don't.
Watch pro wrestling. At least it has a fucking story.
At least you know where you have an ending and down the line, not just we'll go 8 rounds. I'll phantom punch you. I'll win by unanimous decision.
And there's a story to it.
Not to mention, like, you know, what they've been doing with White Rabbit and shit. I mean, that's interesting. You know, the cloak and dagger stuff. That's fun.
Like Jake Paul's just not smart enough to come up with something like that.
No.
But all the while, those people are so cocky, like they think they're all this stuff. That's what I don't like about him. You know, I mean, it's just a ton, but that's just one of the main things that I get off him, like an arrogance or something.
And this is the weekends of the Paul boys, right? So last week, this weekend, this past weekend, we had fucking Jake in the spotlight. Next weekend, we've got Logan in the spotlight with his wrestling match with Roman Reigns. I mean, and what have they fucking done? Again, you guys were fucking nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So
They made YouTube videos for children.
make somebody else fucking something.
Yep.
Right.
Stop being a pussy. Seriously. Show me
it's almost
it's
like
not
give back to the
fucking-
community.
Just show me it's not. Just show me it's not fucking fake.
Right.
And
Yeah,
I guarantee,
Andy, new challenge.
if it's not fake. Because here's the thing: don't let me in on the joke. Just don't let me in on the joke because I will whoop your fucking ass. You think I'm gonna pull my punches? No. Don't let me in on the joke. I'll fucking hit you right square in the fucking jaw, and I'll get disqualified after I kick you in the nuts.
Yeah, you're gonna be like Butch from Pulp Fiction. You're like, yeah, I'll go along with it, and then you're still gonna kill the guy in the ring.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I'd shoot on him anyway. I'd have a street fight for right in the fucking
Right.
ring. Like, I don't give a shit. It's rigged. It's fake. It's whatever. And you let me in on the fucking joke. Still gonna have a shoot fight with him. Still gonna punch him in the fucking jaw.
That's fucking high art, man. I live to see that.
So, anybody out there wants to see this fucking, me kick the shit out of Jake Paul and actually punch him rather than phantom punching him? Tweet at Jake. Tweet at us. Like, get it done, right? Like, everybody let him know.
You know, we were gonna take them on one-on-one. Maybe we should just do a tag team match. Maybe they'll be intrigued with a tag team match.
Oh, that's fucking cool. Yeah, good old fashioned tag team match.
And if they need to, because one's a wrestler and one's a wrestler that's an actual show, right? An actual entertainment show, and we know that. And the other one's a fake boxer. Like, when I tag in, we have a boxing match. When Dustin tags in, they have a wrestling match.
Right.
That's great.
Works for me. Like, just don't be I see you out there, Jake, tweeting at all your buddies and, we're going to fight this guy next. Who should I fight next? All these old fucking men. You have a list of old fucking men that are names, right? And all they're doing is building your name more. Take somebody without a name and see what you can fucking do with that. Be that person, right?
It's almost like he has a list of like high school type teachers he always hated.
But it's not that. It's like, oh, I fought Anderson Silva. He was my hero growing up. Okay,
Yeah.
well, if it helps, Jake, you're my fucking hero. I want to punch you in the throat.
You're my hero growing up. You're younger than me, but we're fine.
Talk shit on Drake.
Like, come on.
I mean, they listen to fucking Drake, guys.
Be that fucking guy. Stop trying to ride the coattails of somebody else who made a name now that you have a name, right?
Yeah.
Bring somebody to your level. Bring it up.
Be like MC Hammer, man. You know, build your nice white castle above the slums so we can all look up at it. You know, and wish.
If you don't want me to kick you in the nuts, I won't kick you that hard.
Yeah. New challenge, Andy. Try to break your glasses. Prove it's real.
Yeah. Me? Do it now?
Yeah. No.
I'm Anderson Silva!
In the fight, you're gonna be Andy Shades as well, and you know, the point is like prove it's real. Actually, connect with your face. Break your glasses.
Yeah.
Oh, have you guys heard of? Of course you have. Buffalo Jim. Yeah.
No. Tony's shaking his
He's
head,
a-
yes.
Tony, what do you know about him?
Where's that Buffalo Bob? The one that was in Indiana.
Buffalo Jim is Las Vegas guy who
no.
started up his own wrestling thing. You guys don't know about him?
No.
Oh, I'm surprised. Yeah, he's like a. Seems like if he was still alive, it'd be somebody we'd be talking about, or somebody that would like the show. But I just watched an Unsolved Mysteries, and he was found in like a hotel room, and they can't figure out what happened.
Oh, so yeah, okay, yeah. So there is, maybe it's the same one. I don't recognize the name, but there's a Dark Side of the Ring episode about a guy who was killed in a hotel room too. Dark Side of the Ring, great show. If you want to watch that, go on Vice. Go to Vice on Demand. Just tell your Comcast remote, go Vice on Demand, right? And look up Dark Side of the Ring. It's all the bad shit that has happened in wrestling. Okay, one of the best episodes. One of the best episodes, Plane Ride from Hell. Right, talk about how drunk they got, and fucked up they got, fucking with the stewardesses, and how Ric Flair was naked, and apparently he's got a big wang, so he plays helicopter with his wang. Yeah, so that's a good one.
I wonder what noise he would make while he did that.
Bad time to come back.
Woo!
I wonder what noise he made when he did that.
Anyway,
talk about Ric Flair waving his big weenie.
Yeah, like a helicopter on the Plane Ride from Hell.
And I was looking for Woo. Woo!
I don't know.
Oh, Dustin, did you hear while you were gone? I brought up Buffalo Jim Barrier. Have you heard of him?
Nope.
Huh. Yeah, you mentioned he's in that series you watched, right? That's a series or an episode, Andy? He's Anyway, there's a Unsolved Mysteries. It's on Netflix. They updated it, so there's a newer one
Dark
about
Side
this
of the
guy.
Ring. I'll have to look up that episode of Dark Side of the Ring and figure out who that was. They talked about, but there was also Dino Bravo was also murdered by apparently the mob. That's a story on there. A lot of big wrestling moments. Anyway, bad shit that has happened.
Yeah. Oh, and you guys brought up NBA scandals. There was a referee, Tim Donaghy, from '94 to 07.
Yeah. That's what it was. Yeah.
He's the ref, and there's a documentary on Netflix about that.
Yeah, what's that called? I was trying to think of that.
I don't remember. I don't remember.
I don't remember what it's called.
But yeah. So and he's on there admitting to what he did. I mean,
Fuck, at least you got somebody that could fucking admit it.
Yeah. Well, it's fucking caught red-handed too. So
I think it's called Operation Flagrant Foul.
maybe. But it's part of it's part of a mini series.
Yeah, and the thing I mentioned, if you guys want to look it up, it's Buffalo Bill. on Unsolved Mysteries. It's still a good series to watch, even if it's not that episode. I like that they took that old show and made it new. So
Yeah, I like the older show of it. I haven't really watched any of the newer stuff.
yeah, it's got the same feel. I mean, obviously Robert Stack died, but
Yeah.
you're really missing the host part, which I like because that dude was just got you in the mood for
Right. It was the
Unsolved
voice that
Mysteries.
got you going. Yeah.
But yeah, a couple of recommendations there, I guess, for the people listening. and
That's
watching
tripping me out, Tony. Don't do that. Talking pumpkins are not a real thing.
Oh fuck, man! What? That is cool.
That's a headless horseman's head.
That is cool. What'd that set you back?
That is Jabbering Jack. He'll sit there and talk for a little over an hour.
Oh, that is so cool.
We
It's
definitely
creepy, but
don't want to
cool.
hear him talk.
We did when he popped in here. I think that's who we
Oh,
were
man.
listening to.
What even is that?
Yeah.
What else is on your mind, Andy?
Well, the last thing I really want to talk about. Obviously, I'm sitting here with my Phillies hat on as we record. Tonight is Game 3 of the World Series. We talked earlier. The series is tied, but I want to get into Game 2. All right, and I want to talk about the Houston Astros for a minute because anybody who's a baseball fan or has followed baseball at all, and I'm sure even if you haven't, you probably heard some shit.
Touchdown.
Yeah, heard about the Astros of the past, right? A few years ago, cheating scandal.
Let me get my trash can.
Stealing signs. Basically, what they would bang on, they would steal the pitches, bang on trash cans.
Yep.
They had electronic wires or electronic monitors under their jerseys that would buzz them to tell them pitches. All kinds of shit. I mean, this was elaborate cheating scheme that they had going on.
Quick question for you, not to derail you, but do they still have any of the same people around?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I
Some
want.
of the players are still there.
Yep.
Some people were, I guess, suspended or banned per MLB. I don't remember who. I don't know what it was. It was more of a slap on the wrist by MLB.
Yeah, the coach got 1 year suspension, so
Okay.
I do remember that at least.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So the Phils win Game 1. They're down 5-0. They come back, tie the game. JT Realmuto home run, 10th inning. Phils close the game out. Game 1. Game
Very
2.
good game to watch.
Game 2. And I can't tell you that I've ever seen this bad in any baseball game ever. Okay? We all know pitchers will have a bad outing. They'll get rocked early, right? But usually if that happens, they're going deep in counts, right? They're not finding the plate. Their pitches aren't there. Wheeler was on. I mean, his pitches were the same pitches he'd been throwing all playoffs. They got him the phenomenal ERA and record that he had. Okay. First pitch, Altuve is up, and now you asked the question. You asked the question, Justin, if anybody's around. Altuve was one of the players that was involved in the cheating. All right, leadoff batter, Altuve. First pitch swinging double. Okay. Can happen. I've seen first pitch home runs.
Yep.
It's happened. No biggie. Second batter up. First pitch swinging double. Okay. This is a good pitcher who's throwing good pitches. These aren't like he's missing his spots. He's throwing good pitches. Third batter. Takes a pitch. Second pitch swinging, double. 3 doubles, 4 pitches. This is virtually impossible. Like, we're talking 4 pitches, 3 hard hit balls for doubles. Like, you didn't get lucky and get the ball in play, hit a single. You hit 3 out of 4 pitches hard on a guy who isn't throwing bad. Like, Tony, baseball guy, you seen this before?
No, never seen anything like that. Especially, I mean, you might see something like that against a number 5 starter or something like that. But Wheeler, no, nothing. You're not going to see that against anybody like him. I mean, it just seems kind of odd, just like you're saying, that, you know, especially Altuve. I mean, I don't think he's been very hot lately, so kind of weird that you
coldest batter in the playoffs.
Double.
Coldest batter for the Astros in the playoffs.
Yep.
First pitch swinging double.
Yeah. I mean, it just seems a little weird, like you might knew exactly what was coming and where it was coming to. Kind of seemed like you had a hint, but I don't know.
Maybe you can watch the tape, you know, and listen if there's like an anomaly. Like, that
Maybe.
would be a signal.
Could be.
Now, the only thing that I can say is game plan on Wheeler by the Astros was on. Swing early. All playoffs, he'd been getting ahead of pitchers.
Yep.
Or ahead of batters, okay?
Yep.
He's throwing first pitch strikes. So you be swinging early. But to hit 3 straight located balls, he's not throwing these down the middle. Like, he's not missing his spots.
No.
You hit 3 located balls in the first 4 pitches hard.
Yeah.
Something's not right.
Yeah. And the game is at Houston, so it makes it a little bit more suspicious.
That game was in Houston.
So,
Move on past the first inning. They get some runs on Wheeler because of this, right? Let's move on. I think we're into the second inning, maybe. We're only into the second inning. Batter comes up. I forget his name. Justin is quick on the Googler. But he comes up and the announcers go, he's using a new bat tonight. The bat he used in game 1, Major League Baseball told him he's no longer allowed to use because it was an illegal bat.
Martin Maldonado
Yes.
says he used a legal bat in World Series versus Phillies.
So in game 1, he's using an illegal bat. In game 2, they tell him he can't use it anymore. So he got away
What
with
was
it.
illegal about the bat?
So these bats apparently were given to him by Albert Pujols. This is not a new rule. 10 years ago, MLB changed the rule on I guess the weighting or whatever of the bat, right?
Right.
Whatever it was on the bat, but they grandfathered in whoever was using this bat.
Not to pass it down to the next person, not the bat, the person.
Right. So Pujols had been able to use this illegal bat for the last 10 years. Grandfathered in. But it's a 10-year-old rule. This guy has no, there's no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's
Fucking
not like this
illegal
rule was
bat.
just made this year or like 3 weeks ago.
And Pujols had to have known that this bat is illegal.
Oh, yeah. Of course,
Give
it got
it-
grandfathered in.
So what do
You
you
know where
say,
those
Justin?
bats have been, right?
So Justin, were you going to say something?
Yeah, I said you know where those bats have been, right?
Where?
Pujol.
Oh,
Yeah.
been ramrodding them. So anyway,
Yeah, there's a tweet here. It says he asked Pujols to send him some bats. They always got some of the best quality of bats because of his stature. That's what Maldonado said.
so
He's trying to put it off on Pujols that he's using this illegal bat, is what he's doing.
yeah. So we have We have the pitches going, and then we have the bat. Okay? Now let's move on to something else. But Tony, what's your take on this bat thing?
I mean, yeah, if it's a 10-year-old rule, you should know this by now. And especially Albert should know that. You know, like, the guy's asking to use your bats. Come on now. You know what you're doing. You're sending it to him. He's going to use it. He's going to get caught. Now that's going to make Albert look bad because Albert should have known that rule. But guess what? He's like, no, it's okay. I'm just going to do it anyway. Nobody's going to see it and get caught. But, I mean, even the coach should have known. It's like, come on. You know this 10-year rule. You've been around. Can't use that bat. Especially World Series. Come on.
My thing is with it is, I mean, I've always been brought up like umps are supposed to watch what equipment's being used. Why was it not told to him during the game he couldn't use this bat? How do they find it afterwards, I guess is what I'm wondering. Do they go test everybody's equipment afterwards and look at it?
I have no idea.
But, I mean, like playing like, I mean, I'm not playing Major League Baseball here, but like a slow pitch softball leagues that we've had here over the years, there was always those illegal ASA bats that you couldn't use. And I umped them, and I was told I had a bat list. Every player had a bat list. Hey, this bat's illegal. But if you found somebody using it, they were out or, they couldn't use that bat. So why aren't the umps watching this and taking it out of their hands during the game? I guess is my thing on this.
Don't know.
Got your kid to pick up the bat, and then eventually, the ump finally got his hands on it and probably said, hey, this feels a little different. I mean, I haven't seen it, but that'd be the only guess I could say.
Right. No, yeah. I mean, I know there's probably not markings on
It's the same thing with a
but
corked bat, right? Like, you don't find out about a corked bat till the damn thing breaks.
Yep.
Right. But, I mean, if they knew this bat was illegal, I mean, if it is a weight thing, I mean, you'd have to grab it and stuff, but I mean, it's like when and how did they find this? And was it his last at bat? I mean, I don't know. I mean, to me, there should be punishments for using it, not just, no, you can't use this bat.
Not again.
To me, if it's a 10-year rule, there should be, to me, if there's a 1-year rule, and, I understand the first couple times there's, hey, sorry, I didn't mean to use that one, whatever. But if it's a 10-year rule, there should have been, in my opinion, there should be suspensions or fines or something for using something illegal in a sport.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. I mean, you think about
Not
NASCAR.
just, nope, you can't use it.
You think about NASCAR. If you have something illegal in your car, somebody's getting suspended. You're losing points. You're losing
Brad Keselowski got disqualified yesterday for not having enough weight, I think.
Yeah. So,
Man.
I don't... All right, so let's move past the bat. Let's go...
The bat's a big topic.
That's a big one.
It is.
So let's recap. We have...
Recap a little bit, yeah.
3 pitches, 3 out of the first 4 pitches on a pitcher who's locating his stuff hit hard for doubles. We have an illegal bat used. Let's go to the Phillies hitting and see how that worked out. The spin rate on this guy's pitches was off the charts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Never seen him pitch before. From Bray, whatever the fuck his name is. Okay, never seen him pitch before. But there is video footage and everything out there about this. So every time he got a new ball, okay, from the ump, he would get a new ball. He'd hold it in his hand. He'd take his other hand and his thumb, and he'd take his thumb and he would rub it into the hand holding the ball. He would be rubbing his thumb into the palm. If you're watching on YouTube, kind of like what I'm doing, I'm holding the ball and I'm rubbing my palm, right? And then he would take that thumb that rubbed the palm and rub that thumb all over the baseball. Okay? On top of that, he was constantly touching his face. He was constantly rubbing his long dreadlocks. And now let's remember one other key thing about pitchers here. and this includes the National League now, right? Pitchers don't hit.
Yep.
Pitchers shouldn't get dirty,
At all.
right? They shouldn't have fucking mud and whatever or brown stains.
That
on
jersey
their
should be
pants.
spick and span from top to bottom.
So
Unless
the
it's
whole
frickin'
night,
raining.
this guy is rubbing his hand on his pant leg. There's up close pictures that there are like brownish orangish spots on his pant leg from where he was rubbing his hand. On top of that, this guy changed his glove during the game. At least 2 times, I think 3, but at least 2 times he changed his glove. Like, sorry, I got 1 fucking baseball glove. I don't need a second one. I might have a spare, but I'm not going to change it during the middle of a game. And then for whatever reason, this guy changed his cleats 2 or 3 times during the game.
He needed more grip on the rubber that was dying out up there. You know, he needed to change his tires to get more grip.
Yeah.
Add this all up, and the spin rates are out of control.
Yeah.
And they don't. From what I am understanding, and I don't know because I didn't. The footage isn't all there or whatever, but like, umps are supposed to be checking the pitchers as they come off. Apparently, he was only checked once during the game.
Yep.
As he walks off the field, every time he's walking off the field, he's rubbing his hand on his pant leg before he gets over even close to the umps to be checked. And he's also rubbing stuff out of his glove. You add all of this up, and none of this makes sense.
No. It doesn't.
And so you've got no. Let's recap again.
Again.
Okay, the Astros have been caught by Major League Baseball winning a World Series by cheating. Okay, first 3 pitches out of the first 4 are hard hit doubles on a pitcher that's locating his stuff. An illegal bat is used, and this pitcher is acting awfully fucking sketchy. Tony, not a Philly fan, so you tell me what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of weird that you don't really see a pitcher changing a glove unless there's a malfunction with it. I mean, he had to, break it, something like that. Something you would see, and you'd be like, okay, I understand. Changing your cleats? Come on now. I don't know why you have to change your cleats again. It's just ridiculous. And then, like, brown stuff on the pants and you're rubbing. Rosin's white, so you can't tell it says rosin bag. And I doubt you're even touching the dirt, trying to get some grip or whatever, but...
So that's the other thing.
Really,
You brought up the rosin bag. Let's add to this story. He did not use the rosin bag once.
So
Nice.
hands aren't sweaty.
So he never used the rosin bag to dry his hand.
Why would you when you got something on
And
there?
it was a perfectly dry evening, right? So it wasn't
Yep.
raining, so the mound wasn't wet. That would be a reason to change your cleats, maybe.
Right.
Dustin, you're not a Phillies fan either, because I want to stay out of this as far as my take on it, being a Philly fan, because everybody's just going to say, well, you're just upset your team lost. Dustin, what's your take here?
As a former pitcher, you find different ways to, I should say, make your game better. But as you get older, that's what happens, right? But correct me if I'm wrong, this guy isn't the oldest guy. He didn't look too old. But if you're trying to get that advantage, I mean, and people are doing it. We've seen it all year round that people are trying to get that advantage on the mound, at the plate, whatever. But me as a pitcher, I would lick my fingers, wipe them off. You can do that. Legal. But when you start playing with your hair and pant leg, and doing all these other things, not right. I mean, to me, Major League's got to come down to the point like, what can you touch on your body? I mean, I know like in our amateur league, you're gonna take off your hat on a hot day and wipe your hand, but you're gonna wipe your hands off. But we have it where you can lick your fingers, but we used to have to do it off the mound, like completely off the mound, and it's dry before you get back up there. Now you can be up on the mound, but you have to wipe them off. It has to be a physical, or you have to show that you're wiping them off. Whatever. But if you're rubbing everything else on your body, like people are putting stuff behind their ears, in their gloves now, and all that, and it's getting on the ball if it's going in the glove, and then you can rub it around. How many pitchers do you see do this constantly with the ball? I mean, they rub down the balls, they prepare the balls before they play. Anyway, I feel every pitcher cheats in a way, but in the World Series, you should be checking that pitcher every inning. And if he's rubbing, I didn't get to watch the game, Andy, so I didn't get to see him coming off the mound or coming off the field. But if he's literally rubbing everything else out of his glove and his leg, to me as an ump too, that triggers my head. Like, hey, we got to get to this guy before he's rubbing everything off. Or touch the pant leg, see what it is. It's there. You don't know what people are using now. I mean, people use pine tar for how many years? I don't know what the chemical pitchers use now. I honestly don't. But, I mean, Eddie Harris in Major League used snot. Maybe it works.
So, Tony, did you finish your thought on this as a non-Philly fan?
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much finished it because, it's just everything is going on. It's not natural. I mean, can you look towards the beginning of the season, I think it was around the beginning, Madison Bumgarner. I mean, that ump was basically, frisking him like a cop for nothing.
Yeah, it made him look like he was just robbed a bank.
Yeah. But now, even towards the end of the regular season, you see these guys, they go over the ump and they put it out there, and it's like, okay, go.
Yep.
It's kind of like after 9/11 when you went into a sporting event, you got frisked like you were being arrested, right? And now you
you're getting on an airplane.
Yeah, now you go to a sporting event and they look you over, they give you like a tap on the back and they say go ahead, right? Like,
mm-hmm.
Yep.
I don't know, Justin. You're fired up. You're a Phillies fan. Right? You're into what's going on. Do you feel cheated?
I mean, you guys, had a good dissertation. I mean, what's not to see? Something's going on. Yeah, it sucks, but at least we're the team that's not cheating.
But do you want to be the team that wins?
Okay. The thing is, with the Phillies here right now, you're tied 1-1. You're going back to Philly, and it's hard to play there.
Yeah.
I mean, you got 3 games in Philly. Or is it how do they do the World Series, Andy? Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it 2-2, 1-1-1, or is it 2-3-2?
2-3-2.
So you could actually win the World Series 3 games in a row here coming up.
Absolutely. I'm not sold on tonight yet. Noah Syndergaard on the mound. I don't expect him to go more than 3 or 4. They're giving Ranger an extra day of rest. He'll be going in Game 4. And then I believe it'll be back to NOLA Game 5.
Thing is, though, you get Houston at your ballpark. You get Houston at your ballpark where they probably haven't played in God knows how long. You get your fans, and I know how Philly fans are. Been around them in a lot of sporting events. It's going to be hard for Houston to pull off. They need to pull off 1 win in Philly, and I can't see it happen, but it's going to be hard. I think these next 3 games are going to be phenomenal to watch. I didn't mean to interrupt Justin there. I know he's muted
I just want to be. If they're gonna beat us fair. Like,
yeah, no, definitely.
It's one of those things. You
Yeah.
have a reputation, so things are under the microscope, right? Like, you've cheated before, so why aren't we looking a little bit harder? Why isn't there, like, if we used an illegal bat, there's suspensions. Use a cork bat, there's a suspension.
Mm-hmm.
Tony, why is there no suspension in the World Series?
I don't know. It's a good question. Especially since it is Houston doing all this stuff and nothing is happening to them. It's like, why? It's like, first game, guy leaning into the pitch, trying to cheat his way on. Yeah, game 2, you're using illegal, or game 1, you use illegal bats. Game 2, you get a pitcher rubbing stuff all over him, and nobody's checking to say, hey, what is this? But, I mean, yeah, it's why. Why is Houston so, unstoppable that we can just give them whatever they want?
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that, and it's frustrating as a fan. Because like I said, if you're gonna beat us fair.
Yeah.
We don't.
Yep.
We're the lowest seed team beating playing the top seed in the playoffs, right? So.
I will be 100% honest. I'm pulling for the Phillies. Never loved it. Never liked
I think
these
the country, except for the city of Houston, is pulling for the Phillies. Which is the first time ever anybody's outside of Philadelphia is rooting for Philadelphia. I'll tell you that.
I will be honest. When Philadelphia won the Super Bowl in Minneapolis, even though they beat the Vikings in Philadelphia, I was cheering for Philly. Just because I didn't want to see Tom. Wasn't it? They played New England, didn't they? Yeah. I didn't want to see New England win another Super Bowl. I like seeing new teams win, underdogs win. I mean, Philly made a good run through the playoffs that year.
Justin's got company.
Yeah. It's my mom.
Oh.
Hello.
She's hiding. Peekaboo!
Hello.
She's doing a Halloween thing, apparently.
Watch out for the ghost.
Yeah.
As you might have mentioned before, it's up in the air for some of us with the Halloween stuff tonight. So,
yeah.
Yeah, the Phillies game was called for the night. I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah.
There's no game tonight.
Account of rain. Yeah, it's not. They're not playing.
Well, son of a bitch.
Well,
What
game
time?
3 will be
Tomorrow,
tomorrow
then?
night. They'll just delay it a
What?
day.
Yeah, they would play tomorrow anyway. So.
Yeah,
it's Tuesday, Thursday.
Tuesday, Thursday. When's game 5?
Oh, Wednesday too.
Yeah.
3 games in a row. Damn.
Let's get them. Fuck them up. Fuck them up 3 in a row. Hey,
And they're
Jose
all in Philly,
Altuve.
right?
Jake Paul wants to put on these celebrity fights, right? Jose Altuve. You want to fucking cheat my team? You want to fight?
Let's do it.
I'm down. I'll fight the fucking manager. I'll fight the fucking cheating pitcher. Because when it comes to fighting, I'm going to cheat too. I'm going to kick you in the fucking nuts. But here was my question about the pitcher that I hadn't asked. And I'm going to ask all of you guys. Well, Tony just left.
Hi, Tony.
Tony's trying to hand out candy yet.
Here's my question about the pitcher that I'll ask both of you. It's the World Series, right? So let's say he goes out there and he gets away with this for 3 innings or 4 innings or whatever, and then they catch him and they eject him. What is the real loss?
Right, you got 3 to 4 innings out of that pitcher and scoreless innings.
There's
really
no
no
real
loss.
loss. No.
The only loss would actually be that your bullpen's got to come in and actually pitch cold and whatever. But that's still not a loss. I mean, if you think about it. I mean, it's not a lot. I mean, but that's any athlete, any team or anything like that comes into, if you're going to try to win a World Series, Super Bowl, NBA Finals, or NBA championship, NCAA championships. What stops you from cheating? Well, I'll be suspended for 3 games next season.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
That's the thing. What is the downfall of going for it and trying it and taking the Phillies off their game by doing shit like this?
In my
Sweep
eyes,
the leg.
in my eyes, the pitcher they had the other night, Saturday night, where you mentioned his name, can't remember, Houston. Say he comes out game 5, just saying a game, does the exact
Maldonado?
same thing. Yeah, but they find out in the 7th inning that they find this stuff. What does that do for the last 2 games? If they find something later and all this stuff is coming out, like people speculating what's going on, I shouldn't say speculating, but you know what I mean. And say game 7, he's coming out of the bullpen to help close out a game or try to secure the W, and they find this. And he's started 2 other games, scoreless innings, 7 innings, 4 hit baseball, just throwing out stats. And then they find it in game 7 in inning 8. How does that tarnish baseball? How does that tarnish the series, period?
Still, I mean, regardless, you get caught cheating, it's going to tarnish any type of win or championship you take. But
Right, correct.
But with the money and everything that goes along with the winning, do they give a shit if people call them cheaters?
Nope. In my eyes, it doesn't.
It's just the rest of the country calling them cheaters in their hometown. The people that are paying for the tickets are happy they won a championship.
Now, I don't really consider this cheating. It was more of a bounty. But look at the Saints back in whatever year that was. They won the Super Bowl. They were giving out extra money if you took out the opposing players.
Yeah.
I mean, that ended up being a scandal and all that. Sean Payton was suspended for a year or whatever it was. But none of the players really got anything out of it. And they were the ones doing it. The organization took the hit. But you got a Super Bowl. You got the money. Got the prestige. You got to say, hey, I won a Super Bowl. I got a Super Bowl ring. Not like they took that away. Did it hurt them? No. I'm going to fine you $25,000. You make $50 million a year.
Well, and that's just the thing. Like, when it comes to playoffs, okay, money's everything.
Yep.
Because these guys that sign contracts, okay, no matter the sport, doesn't matter if it's baseball, football, hockey, basketball, soccer, I don't care shit what it is. Your contract is paid to you in the regular season.
Yep.
Okay? Once the regular season's over, you're no longer paid.
It's
almost can make more money. The further you go, there are incentives.
Bonuses
in your contracts. There's bonuses by the leagues, right? So the leagues pay bonuses. I only know this because little known fact, I was part of the training staff for the Philadelphia Flyers for a couple years. When it came to the playoffs, it was posted at the practice rink in the locker room. During the playoffs, it was posted on the wall what the bonus structure was for where you got in the playoffs.
Yep.
And this was a bonus structure paid by the National Hockey League.
Yeah, it's not paid by the team.
No.
The team gets the money to pay you, but it's paid by the league.
Yeah.
Because the organization gets bonuses as well.
Right. So that is a little known fact that people don't know about. So when they're talking about playing, yes, you want to be a champion, right? You play to be a champion. But there's money on the line.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And if you think these $1 million babies don't care about money, look at how the NHL All-Star Game changed when they put money on the line.
Yep. Oh, it's real. I mean, that's what they all want. I mean,
competitive at that point.
Yep.
So even though these are $1 million babies, they're $200,000 bonus that they might get for winning this series, or the $500,000 bonus they get for winning the World Series. A lot of fucking beer for them. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They still want that. So, I don't know. It's all about the money rules everything, but of course the championship rules it too. You ever want to be known as a player through something? You got to be a champion, right?
You go to the Hall of Fame, you got to be a champion.
That's
Seems
just
like.
about it, right?
Bye, Justin.
Bye, Justin. Looks like
we're back to where we started.
Yeah, back to where we started, just being Dustin to close out the show, which is ironic, right?
Okay, we're talking about cheating. I don't want to, unless you got something more you want to talk to about on that, Andy.
No, I've exhausted that, I think.
Well, okay, so I want to go to NASCAR for a second.
Okay.
We both saw, or I saw live. You were at a football game, I'm guessing, yesterday. But did what Ross Chastain do yesterday to get in the playoffs? Would you consider that cheating?
No, he was within the rule book.
There's no rule on that right now, what you can do and can't do on that.
No.
Passing the grass, different world. But
so for those of you who didn't see this, look up what Ross Chastain did at Martinsville. So he pulled a video game move.
Yeah, he even said NASCAR 05. I tried it in NASCAR 05 and it worked.
So basically going into the last corner, he was in P10. To advance to the playoffs, he had to get up to like P5 and pass Denny Hamlin, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah, he was down by 4 points at the point.
Yeah,
Yep.
He is 5 positions back going into the last corner of the race. So what he did is he entered the corner against the wall and he gunned it. No braking. And for those of you who don't know racing or don't know Martinsville is a very tight track. You go, and it's a short track. So I think top speed is probably 120 mile an hour.
You're going through the corners about 60, 70.
Yeah. You're down to about 60, 70 miles an hour going around the corners, hard braking. You can't push it too hard. You're going to end up spinning the car or wrecking or whatever. But he ends up starting at the wall and guns it. I mean, just pedal to the floor and rides the wall. The wall basically keeps him from spinning, keeps him from wrecking, and rides the wall through the last corner, passes 5 cars in the last corner, and makes the playoffs. And on top of that, when he crossed the start-finish line, he set a track record for the fastest lap.
Yep. That was like 18 point whatever.
Yeah. 5 cars he passed. And when you watch it, it's amazing. Like, Dustin, I can't get over it when I watch it.
No, I can't either.
You think when you're watching the replay of what happened, you think it's in fast forward.
Yeah, you feel like the cars on the inside are in real time. And they took his car and video edited it and put it like 3 or 4 times faster.
Yeah.
That's how I looked at it.
So, did he tear up a race car? He probably damaged the race car. It's fixable damage, right? It's not tore up. But he did what he had to do, and he fucking got himself in the playoffs. He's in the Final Four to race for a championship. And everybody loved what he did. Except
Denny Hamlin.
And a bunch of NASCAR
drivers. Yeah, a lot of drivers. Because my thing is with it, if you looked at Saturday's race, what Ty Gibbs did to Brandon Jones, those are the moves that are meant to be at these short tracks, not wrecking people. I mean, Ty Gibbs did too much, in my opinion, there. He wrecked the guy. He wrecked a teammate and knocked him out of the playoffs. But but with that going on, I mean, with what Ross Chastain did, how many more people are going to try that? And they've been talking about the safety of drivers. If this would have worked with Ross Chastain, and he would have hit that wall at the speed he did and tried to ride it, and if the wall would have pushed him off and went down into the traffic, how big of a wreck would that have been? How many more injuries would have NASCAR seen? I mean, I can't think of his name, but he pulled off track yesterday during the race with a headache. And he was in a bad wreck last week. I can't remember his name. Tyler Reddick, I think is who it was.
Yeah.
He pulled off the race. It wasn't even, I don't know, maybe 100 laps into the race. And he goes, I can't go anymore. I got a headache. I can't do it. So how many more could cut? You know, I'm feeling with what Ross Chastain did, it was amazing to watch. But if NASCAR does not make a rule on this in the future to protect drivers, because it could have been really bad. I mean, what we saw was phenomenal. That probably never happened again in that aspect. But if something else would have happened, what's everybody thinking then?
But
Like,
we can play
you know what I
woulda,
mean?
coulda, shoulda all day long, and when are you going to stop guys from racing and doing what they got to do to win?
Right. But does that
Because-
stop you from doing it at any other track?
Let me ask you this, Dustin. Aside from what he did, this is going to be a different situation.
Correct.
It's the Daytona 500, the most prestigious NASCAR race ever of the season in the world, right?
Yep.
Like it's what everybody wants. Everybody wants the Daytona.
Everybody wants
win.
that Daytona 500 win. They don't want to win at the Pepsi 400. They want to win at the Daytona 500.
It is the last lap, the last corner, and you're racing a guy who is just ahead of you.
Yeah.
And let's say you door him up the track. Let's say you hook him. Let's say, like, this happens at the Daytona 500 every fucking
definitely.
year.
The thing is, though.
But how is that different safety-wise?
Oh, it's not. It's definitely not. I mean,
It's worse. They're going 200 miles an hour at Daytona.
Oh, right. I don't know. I guess it's going to be interesting what NASCAR does. I mean, I'm not trying to. I love the move. I mean,
I've been in a 60-mile-an-hour crash, and I'm here.
What person? I mean, there's no way of practicing the move Ross Chastain did.
No.
There's no way of practicing literally like what you're saying at the Daytona 500 or at Super Speedway, everything that can happen there, because everything happens in a split second. It's over. But you're gonna try for that win. It's every race car driver wants to win that race. You know, Ross Chastain wanted to get in the playoffs. He rode the wall and win. You know, like you said, you can play the what could have happened, but I'm just amazed that it actually worked. I can't put words to it what I'm trying to say there. You know, when he said I'd try to NASCAR 05 and it worked on the GameCube. I mean, I guess I never tried it on the GameCube. I mean, but I want to now. I'm amazed by it. I am. I'm happy for Ross Chastain. I am that he's in the playoffs. For the balls to do that without ever even trying it in a car, in a real life car, to have the balls to try it and do it, hats off to you, buddy. I mean, I can't be more happy for him to get into the playoffs with it. I mean, everybody's safe, everybody's sound, and everything works. I mean,
So here's my deal on the whole situation. This can't become the norm in qualifying.
no. I mean, I think like in iRacing, if you touch the wall, you get a 1x per se, your lap's out. Thing is, though, and the other thing is, I don't see that happening in NASCAR being the thing in qualifying, because you got to go race with that car that you qualified with. You can't do nothing to a lot of them anymore. Or don't they do the impound? I guess I don't know, but you can't go
If
fix
everybody
the car after
fucking
qualifying.
does it,
Yeah, if everybody does it, I guess in my opinion with that, if everybody else is doing that, I go out and run a clean lap. I start first.
Do you?
Who cares?
How
Why
bad
not?
is a scraped race car at a place like Martinsville?
Yeah, but if they do something that, yeah, it hell depends how hard you want to hit it. I mean, we actually were talking in our Discord after it happened in our racing Discord. Andy, I'm pretty sure you saw some of the messages, but there was like going to try it and all that. There was a person that went out and did it in iRacing, and they have a 0x doing that move
At what track?
at Martinsville. They did the exact move on a hot lap and had a 0x. You don't hit the wall hard.
No.
You're just grinding
scrape
it.
it. All you're doing is scraping off the wrap.
Yep. Well, Ross did a little bit more than that, but if you could time it right and make it work, and you just like you said, scraping off the wrap.
I don't want to see that in.
I don't want to see it to be the norm.
35 cars going out and doing that in qualifying.
No, I don't either. That's why I feel NASCAR is going to come up with something with this. I don't know what that could be.
And in the sporting code of iRacing, wall riding is illegal.
Yep.
It will get you banned.
Yep. Well, that's just it. I mean, people are doing it test things, but how many people went and tried it in an official race last night?
Okay.
I mean, I thought it was a phenomenal move. I mean, I'm glad it worked out. I'm glad the bad didn't happen. I mean, there could have been a lot worse things that happened, obviously, but
There's a lot worse things he could have done when we started this conversation based on cheating, right? Because of what the Astros are doing. But like, there's a lot worse things he could have done as far as a cheating thing. All he did was drive his car
to the limit
faster than everybody else without regard for damage to his race car, and got himself in a position he needed to be in.
Yep. Like I said, I don't disagree with it. It could have been bad, obviously. I mean, we both agree on that. It could have been bad, but I mean,
I'm gonna
you'll
ask
never
one
see
question.
it again.
I'm gonna ask one question.
Yep.
If he comes off that, let's say he comes off that corner, and instead of slowing down on Casey Kane, he ran into the back of Casey Kane, but not hard.
No, Keselowski.
Oh, Keselowski. He didn't hit him hard. Okay.
But he
let's
could have
say-
hit him a lot harder.
Let's say he just kept going and hit him harder and kept going until he could shut the car off and it would come to a stop. And he got out of the car and said, "My throttle's stuck."
Yeah. Yeah, you don't know.
That
Nothing you can do. What you can do, go test his throttle.
I mean, let's think about it, right?
He hit
NASCAR.
Keselowski and it
NASCAR
popped
has had a thing here lately where they like to penalize people for telling the truth.
Yep.
You know, you get a guy who said, "Yep, wrecked him under caution." Get penalized. Get penalized for admitting it instead of saying, "Shit, you know, my steering went out," or "I was playing with my," which has happened before. People play with their instruments under caution and, you know, make a mistake with the wheel, not paying attention, and bump somebody, right? And so could have said that.
Yep.
Told truth. Got
It don't
in
matter.
trouble. If he didn't tell the truth, he wouldn't have gotten in trouble. So if Ross Chastain just said, "My throttle got stuck, I don't know what happened."
I like where you're going with that. Like I said, I love the move. It's gonna be, to me, it's at the level of Earnhardt. Was it Earnhardt Sr. that did the pass in the grass? To me, it's at that level. You go in there to win a race. Well, in his case, he's going to get into the playoffs. He wasn't going to win the race. But how many? I'm looking at it this way. What's stopping anybody from trying it at Martinsville next year? You're in 5th place. So I guess in my eyes, 1 and 2, you're still going to use the bumper to move somebody. That's just
What's
been the thing at
stopping him?
Martinsville.
What's stopping him is somebody riding higher on the track.
Yep. Well, that's just it. I mean, never really thought about it that way. But, but say you get 3 people that decide to do this next year in the spring race. Heck yeah. We're going to have a melee.
It's racing. Why we watch it, right?
Yep.
There's nobody out there. You can't tell me. There ain't a fucking soul out there that can tell me they watch racing to hopefully watch, 300 green flag laps with no carnage.
Thing is, how many fans did Ross Chastain gain yesterday with that move?
A lot.
Exactly.
And respect of people.
Oh, yes.
Here's a guy that all season long is, people are getting down on him for running into people.
Now he runs into the wall and gets in the playoffs. Yeah. No, I'm excited for him. I mean, I hope he can put on a good showing here at Phoenix this weekend. See what happens. But it was crazy. I mean, I don't think it's stuff you don't see in NASCAR very often. You see the bump and run, and now you got to see something different. And people are sitting there. I mean, people are literally freaking out about it. Like, oh my God, what's this mean for the future? You were just talking about it with qualifying. We don't want to see that as a norm. But I don't see people wanting to do that in qualifying. I mean, if they do, they do. But going into the race with who knows what kind of car at that point.
Yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did too. I enjoyed the crap out of it. I mean, we were talking about it like last night and playing the PlayStation with some friends after I raced, and they were talking about it, and they hate NASCAR. They're like, Dustin, you race, you like NASCAR? I'm like, yeah. What'd you think about that? I mean, like I said, social media is amazing. If you not even following that platform, you still hear about it. The friends tweeted out or shared on Facebook. And they're like, what'd you think about that? I'm like, I thought it was amazing. Doesn't it ruin the sport? I'm like, no. One race doesn't ruin a sport.
No.
I mean, but they were talking about it. I mean, this is 5 guys that have probably watched one race in their life, and it was at their local track on dirt. And they're like, God, that just makes me want to watch short track racing more in NASCAR. And I'm like, right. But it was an amazing move. Hats off to you, Chastain. Good luck in the championship 4.
So we're gonna do one little fun thing before we get out of here, since it is Halloween. Halloween's about giving kitties candy and then luring them to your door. But let's play a little game. And since the other 2 aren't here, we'll have to do this for them. If you were a candy, what would you be? And we'll have to name Tony and Justin too. But
I guess I'd be a Twix.
Now, why would you be a Twix?
My right side is better than the left. I don't know. Never really thought about if I'd be a candy, what would I be? I like Twix. And I always know they're right side, left side. Right Twix, left Twix.
So I will name Justin. Justin is Sour Patch Kids.
Sour Patch Kids. Sour at first, but sweet at the end.
Yes. Sour Patch Kids is Justin. We got a Tony.
Oh, God. Something quiet. Definitely not Pop Rocks.
Not Pop Rocks, no.
Definitely not Pop Rocks.
No. Yeah, I think he's like a gummy.
Yeah, a little gummy bear. A little gummy worm, maybe.
Gummy bears. Squishy.
Squishy on the inside.
I'm of course a Dove bar.
The Dove bar.
The smoothest and sweetest, most sexual chocolate out there. So that's what we are as Candy, of course. Yeah. So to recap that, Justin is Swedish Fish. I think
Sour Patch Kids.
Sour Patch Kids, and Tony is
Gummy Bear.
Gummy Bears, and I am a Dove Bar. And somehow Dustin's a Twix.
My right side's better than my left.
Well, it's been fun.
Yeah, it's been a good
lot
show.
Going on this week. A lot going on in the wrestling and the fake fighting people of Jake Paul, the cheating in the baseball. I mean, there's just so much this week. I know it was a lot to cover. Thanks for everybody sticking with us through it all. Hope you guys enjoyed this show. Let us know at backtalkus@gmail.com. You can hit us on Twitter at backtalk. Find us on Facebook, Backtalk, and the Backpack fan page. Dustin, last words, final thoughts, buddy.
Oh, last NASCAR race of the season coming up here at Phoenix. Like I said earlier, go Chastain, pulling for you. I think it'd be awesome for you to see a win after getting in with that. Yeah, I mean, fake fighting. I don't watch these celebrity matches. Never will. Never have. Never will. Love talking about them though. Watching the fake. Andy shows us the fake videos and the fake punches. I love it because that's what it is. It's fake. I'd rather watch wrestling than watch fake boxing matches. Been that way for a while. But no, like Andy said, email us at backtalkus@gmail.com and give us your thoughts on what's going on. Bring up some ideas for us. We want to hear from you guys. But you know, as we're recording this, it is Halloween, so happy Halloween again. Hope everybody got their tricks or treats, whatever they wanted to do out there. But
I like the tricks.
I like my tricks.
I'm going to be turning some tricks.
You need to try some tricks tonight. But no, be safe, everybody out there in life, period. Be yourselves, enjoy your time. But can't really say much else. I mean, great show, Andy. Kind of different being me and you. Got interrupted by two idiots.
Yeah,
that we didn't know we were going to show up.
Like.
Yeah, let's just come in. It don't matter. We'll just hop in there. They're there.
And then fucking leave when we feel like.
Yeah.
Like,
bye. Not even say goodbye. Just bye. Just gone. Yeah. Both gone.
Disappeared.
But no, good show, Andy. Like I said, I mean, this was fun. Me and you one-on-one, kind of just talking shit like we always do. But it's been fun.
Good deal. Yeah, thanks for everybody for tuning in. Hit us on that Twitter. Hit us on the Facebook. Hit us on the email. Let us know. What do you think of the show? What do you want to hear? What do you want to talk about some more shit? Get out there. Tweet at Jake Paul. Tell him Backtalk wants his ass in the ring. He's a fucking pussy. I might be too young to fight him. I don't know.
Yeah, you're not quite at 47.
Yeah, no. I got 4 years from that, man.
Maybe he'll be too old then.
Yeah, he'll be a retired fighter at 28. We'll see. Phil's rained out tonight, so we'll wait till tomorrow. Other than that, thanks everybody tuning in, and until next time, tits up.
Wieners.